So we are at the end of day one. By the way, it is hard to go from that session to closing us out. It really is. But I would just want to say thank you all for being here today. I mean, this is unbelievable to see the attendance, to see the interaction, to see the engagement. I'm super appreciative and very happy to have all of you here. Real quick, Gina or Cindy, do you guys mind either going through the slides or passing it over to me?
I'm going to go ahead and forward it for you because the poll's open. If I switch it to you,
Perfect. Thanks, Gina. Well, we definitely want to keep the poll open, so please give us your feedback. As we mentioned this morning, we are feeling a movement within our profession, but really that all starts with you and being here today, continuing the conversation, bringing awareness to the things that are happening within our organizations, that are happening within our profession, and continuing to move the needle forward. And go to the next slide. And as we mentioned in the beginning of the day, and any good presentation will bookend some of our main takeaways. Some of the things that we want to do with PreSales Collective for the end of the year is continue to raise awareness, continue to ask for that seat at the table, continue to bring light to products, companies, people that are doing amazing things. We hope to be over 8,000 people by the end of the year. Stretch goal would be get to 10. And we're going to continue to focus on our programs. It's going to be an important part of what we continue to do, but that all starts with people raising their hand. I've had many individuals ask me, James, how could I get involved in PreSales Collective? It starts by raising your hand, and it starts by coming with a point of view on something. Now, when it comes to blueprints and frameworks and publications that we'd like to put out, raising your hand. So, for instance, we have 2 projects running right now, one of them about how to start an SE org. People have raised their hands and giving their time, energy, and effort to making these things happen. If you're in a local group or a local region, get involved, build local community. Again, PreSales Collective wants to continue to be a vehicle for pre-sales around the globe, but every geo is going to be a little bit different, right? And we have some geos that are just cities. We have some geos that are states. We actually have geos that are in multiple countries. And we want to make sure we're giving our local audiences exactly what they need. As we mentioned earlier, we're going to be having a Real Talk webinar series. For the next 4 months, we're going to have 1 webinar a month where we survey the community, and then we bring leaders into a conversation to read back those results. And we'll be doing that at least for the next 4 months. November is on the calendar, so if you want to check out the webinars, please do. And then jobs. I mean, it's been unbelievable how many of you were so appreciative, have offered to talk to individuals who are looking for jobs, giving coaching guidance, career guidance. I mean, I'm getting messages almost every week now about someone who got a job through PreSales Collective. So continue to do that and continue to focus on that. And in community service, continuing to give back is something that's going to be a staple for us at the end of this year into next year. And next slide. And again, in the 2021, I'm going to pass it over to Yuji here in a moment. But again, programs are a big part of this. DEI, right? Things that we've talked about today, we have to continue the conversation. Talk about bringing in non-traditional individuals into pre-sales, right? So many people have a problem getting into this industry. They have a problem. They say, hey, I don't have the experience. So the best advice I give people is to use your subject matter expertise, but we got to start somewhere, right? We got to start with a funnel. And then, again, events. We hope to have a leadership summit in person next year, potentially 2, right? Hiring events. And we do want to have our next generation pre-sale leaders conference early 2021. And then again, you're going to see an emphasis in training and upskilling the profession generally. So we'll continue to put out free trainings, one-on-one trainings by the community, for the community, and we'll continue to work with education partners. And Yuji's going to talk about Sealy here in a moment a little bit further, but organizations and building partnerships with organizations like Sealy is only going to help the global community. And again, benchmarks and studies. We got a lot of people involved in PreSales Collective. How many times are we going to ask the question on SEComp? I mean, I've heard it 24 times since we started PreSales Collective 7 months ago. Let's put out some benchmarks. Let's put out some studies. Let's work together. And again, if you have any interest, please just let Yuji and I know. We'd be happy to have you involved. So I'm going to hand it over to Yuji to close us out today.
All right, thanks, James. And I just want to reiterate, thank you so much for everybody attending today and being engaged and asking thoughtful questions. It's so great to see and to be a part of. So just real quickly, a quick announcement on our recent partnership with Sales Engineering Leadership Institute. What's unique about SELI is that it's run by practicing SE leaders, Stephen Morris and Justin McManus. Stephen Morris was actually a early SE leader at Salesforce. They host public training workshops for either ICs or early career SCs, and also for leaders. They have an upcoming early career SC workshop in December and on the 1st and the 2nd of December. And so if you're interested in that, we can provide you with a discount code, but you can reach out to us on Slack for more information, or you can also go to the education page on our website. So really excited about that partnership. We'll be partnering with more educational partners as well to be able to provide the community with more resources for training and education. Next slide, please, Gina. Thank you so much. All right, so what now, right? PreSales Leadership Collective. And now that we've kind of wrapped up our first day together, what can you do, right? What can you do to take some action? One of the first things we would love for you to do is either participate or lead a leadership roundtable, right? We've hosted 4 of them in the last few months. We'd like to do them more frequently. We're also planning on segmenting them a bit so that we can cater the topic and the other people in the roundtable to be more specific to what's relevant to you, right? So maybe that's the size of your team, maybe that's the size of your organization, maybe that's your geography. And so we invite you to lead, absolutely participate in the roundtables as we announce new ones, in the coming weeks and months. The next thing we'd love for you to take part in is the council, right? Help us steer the future of this leadership collective. We'll have a process for selecting council members. It will be a time commitment, but it'll be hugely impactful, right, on this community and all the leaders around us. So we really invite you to take part as a council member if that's what you're interested in doing. We'll send out a communication shortly with more details on how to get involved. And then the book club. As we know, right, leaders are readers, and so we're going to be launching a book club. David Malouf, who is a SE leader also at Salesforce, will be leading the charge on the book club. Really excited about that. And then lastly, just contribute content, right? All of you have years of experience in pre-sales and sales and technology, and so there's so much that you could contribute, and we'd love for you to do so, and we can help you with that, right? Getting your content out on the blog. We want to write a book into 2021, so we'll kind of work to put that together as well. So if you have interest in contributing to that, let me know. And then just any other publications that you want to drive, right? We're the platform, or we're trying to create a platform for you to get your thought leadership and your experience out there. So definitely take part in contributing content if you would like to do so. And lastly, I'll just leave you with, we encourage you to invest in yourself, right? Network with your peers, help build your professional brand. That's really what we're trying to do with this leadership collective specifically. So, really take out of the community what you want to get out of it. But of course, a lot of that comes from what you put into it as well. So, that's what we would love for you to take as next steps. I do want to talk about Slack real quickly on the next slide. So our ask of you is just to continue to use the Slack. The more engagement we have, the more questions folks are asking, and the more insight that you're able to provide, the more value we'll all get from just supporting supporting each other and supporting our community. And so, if that's sharing content or learnings that you find external to our community, then we'd love for you to just post it in there. If it's just, chiming in on questions that people have about comp plans or organizational design or performance management for pre-sales, we'd love you to just stay involved as you could, because the idea is that we all get better together. All right, and then so flipping over to day 2, we hope that you will join us for tomorrow as we have a bunch of really exciting sessions. We'll kick off the day with Bernie Frazier. She's an author and career strategist, and she's going to cover your success is in you. I think we all know that, but sometimes we probably forget it. And so I'm really excited personally about the opening session tomorrow with Bernie. And then Matt and Eve Besant will, Eve's from Snowflake, Matt's from Vivint, they'll cover, pre-sales is becoming the future for every enterprise. It's a very forward-thinking presentation, something that I'm particularly interested in, so I think you guys will get a lot out of that. Then we'll jump into small group networking breakouts, so much shorter than today's breakouts. These will be 2 sets of 15-minute sessions with 4 other people, so you'll get to meet 6 other pre-sales leaders in those sessions. And tomorrow's session, just as a reminder, is manager and above. So we decided to open up tomorrow to be a bit of a broader audience, but still manager and leader focused. And then we'll have Cindy, who she mentioned already, but she'll be covering a topic that is I think, super interesting as to how she's using data in a very interesting and advanced way at Cisco to you know, look at AI and ML and taking, you know, bias out of decision making. So very interesting stuff there. Next slide. And the remaining sessions that we have are going to be really, really good discussions. The first being with Garen, Leah, Dalia, and Brian. We'll have a discussion sharing their experience on developing not just average pre-sales teams, but elite pre-sales teams. So very excited to hear their collective experience on that one. And then we'll round out the day with Stephen Morris, Naz Irani, and Matt Finch, who will talk about, you know, 5 roles pre-sales leaders play. And that's a session that, you know, is relevant to all of us here today, as well as the group tomorrow. So we're looking forward to having you all back tomorrow. For the post-event videos, I know some of you popped in and out or have folks in your team that will be interested in watching recordings. We will host those on the PreSales Collective website. They will be gated for the first 2 weeks, and just because we want to provide that as a benefit to you all as members, and then after that, we'll provide them publicly on YouTube. All right, I think we did it, and we did it a little bit early, but I can't finish without, again, thanking our sponsors. Again, Vivid and Consensus, massive supporters of PreSales. We really thank them for their support for helping us put this on. And then again, special thank you to Cindy and her team at Cisco, Lori and Gina, for driving all the coordination, some of the little tech snafus that we had with breakouts. They did an excellent job of making sure that everything went really, really well. So thank you so much to that group. And with that, enjoy the rest of your day and your evening, and we will see you all back tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.